I'm ready now.
Coming to you from the Radio for One studios in Franklin, Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan. Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulations.
And what can we expect?
Surprises!
Engineered by Jay Timko and produced by Eric Beatty. And without further delay, it's showtime! Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
Alrighty. Welcome, everybody, to a Monday edition of the Detroit Cast with Mike and Jay. I'm Mike, that's Jay, of course. Big E is here. Timko is here. The smelling salt's in the house. How's everybody doing? How was your weekend?
It's very good. As you know, two additions to our household.
You had 2 kids over the weekend?
Wow, Jay.
Nice.
Kittens, man.
Kittens.
Parents of the year. Me and Gab.
We got some poiks in the house?
Brought some kittens into the home.
Yeah.
Tank and Moose.
Tank and Moose. And they're both females.
They're cute, man.
They have vagines, and you call them Tank and Moose.
Yeah.
And one of them scratched the fucking shit out of my face. Absolutely clawed my upper lip and bottom lip.
What were you doing with the kitten near your face?
Trying to trim its nails for you. Beth and I were.
Really?
We went over to Jay's and visited the kittens. And what, was it Tank or Moose that caught me?
I think Moose got you.
Moose, the black one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little feisty guy.
Yeah, he was. He was just, she had her hands up. She's just like, "Rah," she's just like, whack, really fast with really sharp nails. And it's funny because.
Top and bottom lip.
Yeah, we're bleeding. And I just go, you fucker!
Oh,
and all 3 of his kids are standing within a foot of me.
Nice.
He really did.
I swear to God.
He's not exaggerating.
Nice.
It
You
was,
fucker! And his kids are just like, oh.
Oh, don't worry about it.
I was just
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'm sorry. And Mikey came to my defense and goes, I've seen my mom flip my dad off before, so it's okay.
Oh! Selling his mom out there.
yeah.
Which was great. I appreciated him coming to my defense because I felt like a real dick. I was like, that was in front of a 12-year-old, a 11-year-old, and a 6-year-old.
Yeah. That was well done, man.
And it was the mother of all words. It wasn't like, oh, crap. It was, you fucker!
Yeah.
Loudly.
He called the new member of our family a fucker.
Yeah.
Ah, Jay, this is the best part, though, when they're kittens, dude. They're so energetic
They're
and
awesome,
they run
man.
around.
Well,
Friggin' boom,
it's
boom.
tough because he's got a Christmas tree up.
Oh,
and
yeah.
kittens hate climbing in Christmas trees.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
they
They
hate
can't
it.
stand that tree.
That's like their home base.
Yeah.
Everything I saw, it was just like every time they got worked up, it's like right under the tree.
Yeah.
Right under the
And
tree.
then they decide from there where to go next. you know?
Yeah.
Oh, I wish
Yeah, they're
I
so
gotta-
much fun, dude.
They're adorable.
I missed.
And I know I'm in for it. I don't have
Right.
any illusion that this is going to be, just fun and games. We had 2 cats before, so we know. We're biting the bullet a little bit, but
Yeah. Well, they're adorable. And, nice early Christmas gift. Not from Santa?
no.
Not from Santa.
Mom and Dad, man.
Oh, that's
Come on.
right. Parents of the year. By the way, while I was at Jay's house, I noticed his daughter's in the art stage right now where everything is worthy of paper, stickers,
Oh, boy.
notes. I left your
Probably
house yesterday.
6 or 7
with-
different.
Yeah, it was Happy Dog Day for Izzy. It was Happy Cat Day, Happy Fish Day.
Happy Deer Day, but it was really a cow.
It was a cow.
She thought a cow was a deer.
Yep.
What?
And so I left with all these things. And
Where are they? Where are they, Mike?
they're upstairs.
Yeah, right. No, but then she'll just write stuff and then tape it on our cupboards, you know, and so we have shit all over our house.
And I noticed one last night.
Oh yeah, you should forget what it says.
It said something to the effect of
Santa Claus.
Santa Claus. Who is that?
Yeah. Dot dot dot. It was a dot. It was a
giant
had an
dot, dot,
ellipsis.
dot.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was
And
kind of
then
a
it's
deep thought by a
Yeah.
6-year-old. Santa Claus. Who is that? Dot dot dot.
That's all it said.
Yeah.
Wow.
There was no illusions in that house about who's bringing home gifts and coming down the chimney.
That's freaking funny,
It
man.
was so funny, man. Also, wanted to announce that Marshall Walters was born this morning.
Oh, congratulations, G.
G Money had his kid 6 weeks early. Yeah, Amanda went into labor 6 weeks early, and the little guy was born, and he's still at the hospital. G hasn't slept at all, but welcome to the world, little man. I guess he's got 10 fingers, 10 toes, and a dong, so I guess we're good. I haven't talked to him yet. I was letting him sleep today, so.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Congrats to the family.
Crazy. And then before we get to the news of the day, we've got a sword attack, also a Boko Haram update, our friends over there in Nigeria, and a couple Xmas-themed crimes, and little Oon.
Being a dick.
Being a huge dick, and then we'll get into the cop killings, too. Just infuriating. Infuriating what's going on in New York City. Unbelievable. And the Lions, too. But before that, did you see these? Our listeners are amazing. They keep sending us stuff, and we got packages of M&Ms over the weekend that have our logo on them, our microphone on them, and then little sayings on the other side of the M&Ms.
Are you serious?
Like perfectly satisfied.
What?
All the candy you need is right here. I swear to God, check them out.
I don't even.
I don't know.
Wow. Holy shit, man.
And then
Want to thank listener James too for sending me a new iPad screen.
yeah. And then
fuck,
I'm
dude.
assuming this is from John, right? Moon. Here, E.
You're
Yeah.
insane, dude.
Oh, he did the M&M's for us?
I don't know. No. But we got these cards too. One came to K-Dog, to me, to Timco. What does yours say, E, on it?
Oh. Just Big E and eating a bag of dry stocks, of course.
That's
Happy holidays, E.
Right.
Happy holidays. Enjoy that bag of dry stocks. I want to announce what it is till you open it, E.
Oh. Sorry. Hope I don't. Jeez, I don't know how to open letters.
He doesn't receive letters.
Subway gift card.
Hey,
Nice,
that's
dude.
awesome. Hey,
That's fucking
food, right?
tits,
Thank
dude.
you,
No,
John.
I
Thank
fucking
you.
love. I go to Subway. Like I like going to Subway a lot, but like.
I hope you put $1 on your card.
I will check it out when I get. I can check it out right now. But you know the thing is, I love going to Subway, but it's not really that cheap anymore. Like when they did the $5 subs 5 years, you know that was cool. And now they're all like $7 anymore. There's no $5 subs.
It's
anymore.
outrageous.
So
No,
awesome.
they're delicious. Thank you, John.
Yeah.
And thank you, James, for the iPad screen.
Yeah, thanks to
Wow,
everybody to sending us stuff. It's awesome.
That's so cool, man. These M&Ms are fucking tits, dude.
Aren't they cool?
That's nuts, dude.
You
I don't
can
even know
take
how
those.
I don't even know how you do that. So I know how you do it. But I mean, I don't know how people go. I've never knew you could freaking. I mean, how detailed like the microphone is on the M&M.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's badass.
This also came too for you, E. A monocle.
I can't
Nice.
see out of it, but it's here.
It's perfect if you're
Wow.
trying to read like small words and letters. Look at that. It's like a little magnifying glass.
Shit.
Oh, yeah.
Here, I need it. How do you do it? You like
Check him out. Colonel Klink.
you go like this.
Yeah, I guess. Sweet.
See if I can work on these things here.
I'm going to do the Zot Ford read with the monocle.
All right.
You're right. This works with the M&Ms.
Hey,
Yeah.
December is the best month of the year to buy or lease your new Zot Ford. Plus, this time of year, we need your trade. So we're paying top dollar for your trade. Hurry in before all the holiday cash is gone. Go see them.
Mm-hmm.
Zot Ford.
I love the pictures they posted over the weekend too of Big E working.
I didn't see that on Facebook.
No. Well, I don't know. They sent them to me,
I
but
think it was just a text.
yeah. Let me see where.
You didn't get those, really?
Peggy in action. No, I didn't see those.
I was told.
Yeah, it was sent to you.
It was me down
I've
with
been
the.
all over the place, so maybe I just missed it.
You can just swipe to the right and go through them.
I was showing how I'm just like every other man, Jay. Even though I'm
Just an average Joe.
just fucking Joe Six-Pack, man.
Oh, man.
He's cleaning sludge and filth out of a trough.
Yeah. Well, that fits him. Good
Yeah.
work, E.
What's that supposed to mean, you son of a bitch?
And E, look at this.
Jeez, what is this like Christmas?
A Nanomuck. Yeah, kind of is, yeah.
Yeah.
Christmas week.
That's not kind of.
Indeed-
It's
indeed it is,
exactly
yeah.
what it is. Yep. Yep. That was
Yeah.
compliments of Timco. Timco got that.
That's beautiful.
What does it say?
Grandmother, source of unconditional love.
It's a Nanomug.
Maker of the best. Yeah, all these things were her about 10 years ago.
God!
Oh!
What does it say? It
Give
says
me that.
Nana, really big. Jay, you can read it like a human.
Nana. And it gives the pronunciations. Noun. That's awesome. Nana. Noun. 1. A grandmother. 2. Source of unconditional love. 3. Maker of the best cookies. And 4. Giver of infinite hugs.
Is that true, E?
Was true.
It was,
Yeah,
but
it was
not
right.
for many, many years.
About 10 years, probably. No, 5. I'll say 5.
Since she made cookies for you, or gave
Ooh.
infinite hugs.
Cookies might be 10.
What about the hugs?
Hugs probably 5.
5, and now it should fall on you to give the hugs.
Yeah. What would she do if you walked up and hugged her? She'd hug you back, right?
Probably.
Yeah. Well, try that, E. It's Christmas season. Time of giving.
'Tis the season.
It's time for family.
And then, lastly,
I had nothing. Never mind.
No, go. Finish your thought.
God damn it.
E,
No.
finish your thought. You can't just go. No, nothing.
I was talking with my sister. Luckily, they don't listen, either of them.
Hot. She sounds hot.
I was talking to my sister, and it just had to do with some concert tickets, and that we're both going to go to the same concert in February.
Is this the sister with the better titties than Holy?
Yeah,
I don't,
that you'd sleep
I
with
never
before
said that.
Holy.
I never said that.
Yes,
Anyway.
you did.
Well, okay, well, whatever. I didn't.
You
say
said
anything
you'd sleep
about,
with
I didn't
her.
Say anything about the
You
titties,
said she
though.
was hotter than all her friends too.
I didn't say she's the hot one in her group.
Yeah.
I'll say that. It is what it is. I don't know. She doesn't. It's not, whatever. Anyway, no, I don't know. But like, I really get along with my sister really well, and like, we're both gonna go to Garth Brooks together.
Of course.
In February, but we got a big group going, and we're all gonna stay in a hotel room and shit. Like her, her boyfriend, and me and some friends. Anyway,
You look like the Penguin.
Dang,
He's
I
trying
had
to
it.
wear a monocle.
I had it in there.
I can't do it, man.
Can you read with it?
Ugh.
Keep trying.
Finish your thought.
Anyway, so the point of the story was I was talking to my sister. I was kind of like, I don't show a lot of emotion with my family, as you know, and I kind of, the closest I've ever came to her, I kind of told her, like, I was like, Lauren, I'm not trying to be weird or anything, but I'm glad we get along and we could go to this
I think
concert.
you're hot. And
No, we can go to this concert and be
We're
fun.
gonna share this room.
And I told her, I said, gun to my head.
like
I don't-
me, yes, no, or maybe?
No, that's not what I said. I said, gun to my head. I mean, I don't want either of you to die, but I'm like, honestly, like, I would be way more bummed if you died over Brian. Like, like if I had a choice.
What a strange expression of affection.
And you know what my sister said? In our family, that kind of means something.
Wow.
Did she take that as the compliment that it was meant to be, or was she horrified by
Oh,
that?
my sister knows me, and she took that as a very big compliment. I didn't want either of them to die, but said if I had a choice, I would choose her to live over my brother.
Hmm.
You are truly a monster.
I mean,
You're a monster.
I don't want either of them to die. I like both of them, but not equally. Like, I don't know.
But if one of them had to go, it's Brian. Brian is so done.
If I had to make the choice,
I mean, over Nana. Brian or Nana?
Brian stays over Nana. I mean,
What about your dad? Your dad versus Brian.
I'm more.
This is like the tournament. This is like March Madness.
I'm more reliant on Dad than
moving
Brian
on.
right now. So.
Yeah. Who's
Oh.
moving on?
I mean,
Oh.
Brian's younger, but Dad's still
You're more
about to teat still a little bit here.
Yeah.
So don't bite the hand that feeds you. You know what I mean?
Mom versus dad.
Ooh, the warm bosom.
Is there an
versus the teeth.
upset anywhere in this tournament?
Mom versus Dad. See, I feel like. See, if Dad. The only thing is, Dad probably has some insurance or something there.
That you
I'd
can
have
get
to
your
know
hands
about
on.
the
So
insurance situation. If my dad had some life insurance.
fair enough.
If
fair enough.
not, might be. No, you know what? My mom. There's a chance my mom could survive that, depending. No, my dad would probably hold out.
What? Wait.
No,
wait.
you know what? My dad. Unless I'm getting major money from my. I think I'm gonna go with my.
All right.
I don't know.
Brian and Lauren or Jay and I.
Brian and Lauren. Boom.
Dad.
See ya. They're not gonna help me fucking get my radio career going. Like I'm not.
Such
It's a good point. It's a good point.
Like
It's a
if
good
you
point.
guys die, I have to start sending out resumes again and fucking air checks.
Jay, one of your new kittens or E.
Oh, God.
Oh, come on!
They're so cute, those
I
little
know.
guys. God.
I know.
But you barely have had them.
Oh, but
and those are cats.
I love them already.
But
They're-
Jay, I'm a human being.
Hey, did you see this? Another listener was nice enough to create that for you. Picture of Beavis and Butthead sitting there.
He's wearing the Branson
Yeah.
hat.
Butthead has
It's
the Branson.
It's Evis and Butthead.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Detroit Cash
wow.
shirt. No.
Yeah.
Look at the couch.
Look at the stains all over the couch.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So they're sitting on the typical couch that they're always on, but East side has stains everywhere.
Yeah.
Well,
He's wearing a Detroit Cat shirt and a Branson Missouri
I
hat.
do enjoy pleasuring myself.
Yeah, we've heard. We've
It's
heard.
hilarious, by the way. It's really fun. We'll put that on the post. The picture. We'll make that the post picture today. So, Anyway,
I don't know where that.
how about that Lions game? Did you watch the Lions game yesterday?
I did not. I listened to some of it.
Yeah. They won, I guess.
Yeah,
More
that's kind of what
importantly
you've been
than
saying the last few weeks, though. It hasn't.
Yeah,
they won.
Sort of been limping forward, which it's what you want. You want
Right.
to win.
Yeah.
But do you have great confidence in them? Like, do you think they can go into Lambeau and win? I don't.
No, I don't
do.
either. Eric does. Of course he does.
No, it's not. I don't believe that it's blind faith. I really do think they have a chance. Do I think they're gonna win? No.
Oh, they definitely have a chance.
But I think their defense is good enough. I do think their defense is. In my opinion, they technically only gave up one touchdown today. The second one they were given at the 5-yard line.
But wasn't even the second? Weren't both of them special teams fuck ups? I feel like one of them was a fumble, and then one of them was the. It was the roughing the punter.
Yeah,
that gave them the
which
extra
was
down.
bullshit too. That was a bullshit call.
I didn't see it, but I heard it, and then they
was a
marched
little
down and they
love
score
tap.
off that, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yep,
Yeah, you're
yep.
right.
And it was because they hit his kicking leg.
Yeah.
Just brushed it barely.
Those guys go flying when they get
Yeah.
hit. Right?
To me, that's such a lame penalty. Like, I think it's worse to land on their plant leg. That's where you're gonna snap a bone.
Yeah.
Like, to hit their kicking leg, you might send them ass over apple cart, but whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
you land on their plant leg, and you're gonna crush it.
Yeah. Yeah. I know it's ifs and buts and stuff but my thought process was they did drive down left and right on them. They just made some dumb interceptions. Granted, he threw dumb interceptions, but they were driving on the Bears, and the defense gave up 2 touchdowns. And like you said, in the end, one was flat out almost given to him, and the other one was kept going on a penalty, a bullshit kicking.
Yeah, they
penalty.
definitely have a chance, and they sure have a lot to play for.
Did this game even matter?
No.
This game mattered for nothing.
Once Washington won and
Over Philly,
and
the Lions were in the playoffs,
Right.
and then win or lose today, next week was the game that mattered because they would hold the tiebreaker over Green Bay if they won next week. So this week really didn't matter.
unless Green Bay had lost to Tampa Bay.
Mm-hmm.
If Green Bay had lost to Tampa and they'd won, they would have won the
Lions
division
would've-
today.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that
But
wasn't going to happen.
you knew they weren't going to lose to Tampa. So this
no
game
way it was
really meant
meaningless.
nothing.
It's nice to get 11 wins, though. I
Yeah.
guess. I mean, it's nice
Yeah.
to have it, I think, in a sense. And
Are they going to boot Raiola for a game? Is he going to miss next week?
You didn't mean to do it, Mike.
Yeah, right. God. For those that didn't see it, and anybody watching the game saw it, he stomped on, what was his name? Ferguson. Is it Arrow Ferguson? The guy's name? He appeared to purposefully step on Ego Ferguson's ankle in the third quarter. He said the incident was inadvertent, and he apologized to Ferguson after the game. Ferguson said he did not accept his apology at face value. I know what my intentions were, Raiola said. We're out there trying to score a touchdown. I'm not going to put myself in a position to get a 15-yarder. Come on now. I knew I was stumbling. Rob Sims and I had a combination block. I remember exactly what happened. Stumbling through it, if I intentionally step on him, that puts me in danger of getting hurt. So let's put that to rest. He accepted the apology. We move on. Raiola said he apologized to Ferguson, some of the Bears veterans, including Jared Allen and Matt Garza, on his way off the field. But Ferguson's like, you all saw the play. I don't need to explain to you what
and it's
happened.
not the first time. That's the problem.
Didn't he just have one 2 or 3 weeks
Just
ago?
Yes.
Yeah, that's why he's going to get suspended.
Yeah.
Oh.
They just got him
How
a couple weeks ago.
They do stuff like this. It's like, come on, it's so ridiculous, dude. What are you doing?
You're never going to get away with it nowadays. You're
Yeah.
just not. There's too many high-def cameras on the field. There's no way you're ever going to get away with anything like that. It's just crazy to
And
me.
it just hurts your team. And if he's going to be out, for the Green Bay, maybe the biggest game in years for the Lions, a possible division win, and
On your starting center,
Yeah. How long was Sue out when he did that?
2 games.
Hmm.
For the Thanksgiving
Yeah.
stomp? Yeah,
Yeah.
2 games.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
good.
falls in the same category, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, really.
I think if you remember the 2 weeks ago, the one that you mentioned him about 2 or whatever weeks ago, had been talks that time about suspending him. So
And
I
he
feel
just
like
got fined, right?
fined, but you got to think they're going to look at it again and say, okay, dude, we let you kind of
Yep.
one go.
Yeah. And there's no way you can say, oh, I was stumbling. That looks like he's looking down at the guy's leg and then just he lands on his foot and then stomps on the guy's leg. I mean, it's pretty clear. Hopefully he won't get suspended. Just fine him, whatever, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
The other story dominating the news this weekend, horrifying story out of New York. Unbelievable, man. I can't say I'm totally shocked though.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Very foreseeable
To-
when you're kind of stoking the fire with people, and
yeah,
the mayor himself, saying that his son, who's half black, ought to be suspicious of officers and afraid of them, essentially.
yeah, it's crystal clear that de Blasio is not a cop guy. You're the mayor of a city, man. I mean, with all the unrest going on, don't you think it just gives license to people? It kind of justifies their behavior in a sense. When you're acting as if there's equal playing field between law enforcement, I mean, their title is law enforcement. They enforce the law. Like, that's their job. And to act like, well, we didn't get the thug side of the story, let's put them on equal. It's like, no. Everybody understands what the game is, and it whips people into a frenzy, whether it's Obama talking about race relations in the country, or whether it's Mayor de Blasio acting like his own children need to fear the police who are sent there to protect and serve. It gives value to the Al Sharpton pieces of shit on this planet who absolutely have a career going based on making sure that the races are separated.
Yeah, and unfortunately,
keep them down.
Yeah, unfortunately, politics in de Blasio's case played precedence over, took precedence over, being the leader of a city.
Yeah,
and
reality.
Yeah, and I hate to just bring it to the left or right and all that, but it's undeniable that his stance is a political one, and saying that it plays into this whole narrative that comes down from above from Obama, that hey, there's a socioeconomic divide and this and that, and really playing that up. Division of races, division of economic statures and things. So he was playing off that in his comments after the Eric Garner. And a nutbag out there took it a bit literally and ran with it.
Yep.
Which again is foreseeable when this shit's being trumped up and being stirred by guys like, as you say, Sharpton.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's jumped into the mix as well. See if you can find this, Timko, if you would, this video here.
This is the one taken from like 4 stories up above the shooting scene.
Yeah. So this guy, his name is Ishmael Brinsley, went to his girlfriend's house, real piece of shit. Went to his girlfriend's and shot her in the stomach in Baltimore.
But she lived, right?
She's in critical, put stable, whatever that means. And he also talked to her mother because he stole her phone and started posting shit on Instagram, pictures of the gun, and making direct reference to Mike Brown and Eric Garner. Said something like, they took one of ours, let's take 2 of theirs.
And didn't he say I'm gonna put wings on pigs today?
I'm gonna make pigs fly. In other words, putting angels' wings on pigs. Nice. He might have had mental issues. Well, no shit. Really? Do you think it needs to be in that sentence that he might have had mental issues? He took his own life on a subway after he walked up to a couple cops in broad daylight. This is the definition of executed in broad daylight that Ben Crump wants everyone to believe happened to Mike Brown. This is the actual definition of that. He was executed in broad daylight. Just walked up and unloaded his gun on 2 cops in the head, killed them in the streets. And
32-year-old guy, 40-year-old guy.
Who, the guy that killed him?
No.
The
2 victims.
Yep. There they are. Rafael Ramos, and the other guy's name I can't. Weejan.
Yeah, I think so.
So anyway, officers in Atlanta were familiar with this Brinsley character. On 9 occasions in less than 6 years, he was booked into jail. Nice, right? In that stretch, he was arrested by officers from 4 different agencies on charges that included disorderly conduct, terrorist threats, and theft by shoplifting.
Swisher Sweets?
Not sure.
Cigarellos?
Cigarellos.
Lucy's.
Lucy's.
Look at the blood on that gun, too. Total disturbing scene. I'm putting wings on pigs today, wrote his Instagram post. He also referred to the death of Eric Garner, who was killed. They take one of ours, let's take two of theirs. And although he's hashtag Eric Garner.
Oh, I know. I saw that.
The messages were cryptic. He did alert the woman. So he talked to the mother, apparently, of the girl he shot, and then took off, and he said it was an accident. I didn't mean to shoot her. I hope she's okay. And then he took off.
But I'm out of here.
Yeah.
I'm the fuck out of here.
Yeah. And took off. The messages were cryptic, suggesting officers would die, but not specifically or exactly where. He didn't say. And investigators in Maryland scrambled to determine where the post had been coming from, but since he had her phone, they were able to track it to Brooklyn. They got to the police minutes after he killed these guys to warn them with a FBI poster and letting them know what these messages were. And it was like, yeah, isn't that crazy? He killed them at like 2:47. At 2:50, they had the ID and were on the lookout for him.
Wow.
Yeah.
And didn't he say something to a couple of bystanders? Hey, watch this, or watch what I'm going to do? Yep.
He walked up to a couple guys, African-American guys. He shot Wenjin Liu and Rafael Ramos with no warning or provocation. They say where was it? Because I know exactly what you're talking about, Jake. Oh, God, where is it? He foreshadowed the violent ending, reading, I always wanted to be known for doing something right, but my past is stalking me and my present is haunting me. God, he promised that. Oh, no, that's not it. That's not it. Yeah, he said something to a couple gang members, suspected gang members, like, pay attention to what I'm going to do here or something like that, and, like, told them. I'll find the exact story. God damn it, I hate that.
You want to see the video?
Yeah, we can watch part of the video. And this is literally while the cops are still laying on the street. You hear a cop go, get the fuck out of here.
You can see that over there, they going up. That's what left you do.
They pumping them. They pumping them.
Cop on the sidewalk.
They pumping them. Dang.
So one's in an ambulance at this point. I think the other one's still on the sidewalk.
Yeah, look how quickly they get this dude out of here. Anyway, they ended up taking these guys out of here quickly. It was too late anyways. They died. At the hospital, the cops gave a silent salute as the ambulance drove off. And they had hundreds of cops in that hospital when the mayor came through.
Yeah.
Turned their backs to him.
Yeah.
All the cops turned their backs to Mayor de Blasio.
Yeah, he said
total show of disrespect.
He was heard saying something like, "We're all in this together," and the
went,
cop goes, "No, we're fucking not."
Which good for them, man. Look at that. Look at them all with their backs to him. Awesome. Good for them. I'd feel totally abandoned if that was your leadership. If that was what you were dealing with.
Yeah, saying publicly, my son, I've warned him. He has to be worried. He has to be afraid around cops.
Yeah.
What the hell, man?
Yep. And it's just, when we see all this shit going on, couple officers, the police commissioner, Raymond Kelly, speaking about the distrust has been exacerbated by de Blasio when he spoke publicly about Dante, his son. And two officers were assaulted last weekend by some protesters on the Brooklyn Bridge. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah.
Garbage can
and he
thrown
downplayed that shit big time.
Totally. It's infuriating. In recent days, when the police officers in New York walked into their headquarters, they were greeted with epithets scrawled in chalk on the sidewalk. NYPD, KKK, avenge our children. Officials across the department were told to limit statements including on the many Twitter accounts now sanctioned by the commanders, to express sorrow and condolence only. We will remain consummate professionals. On Sunday, the police department started defensive tactics. They're telling them, nobody out alone. If you can do it, be in groups of 3 at least. I don't care if you're on a break or going to lunch. Groups of 2 and 3 only. It's pathetic.
That is pathetic.
It's just, and if you look, so they want no solo footprints or footposts citywide. Meal breaks and personal breaks also taken in pairs. That's disgusting.
That is. But dude, if the leader, the mayor, frames them as untrustworthy, what does he expect to happen?
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. I mean, I don't know.
You know, I'm not going to give this guy a free pass because he was insane or had mental issues.
Hell no.
But you know, there's a lot of people out there with mental issues who are going to hear that and jump on board, and you know, or not with mental issues, just people who are whipped up by the protests that we've been hearing about for the last 3 months, and then you have the leader, you know, of this city say that about these guys, and man.
When you talk about these protests, everybody, and I blame the media as much as anything.
Mm-hmm.
The media has a story to tell.
Absolutely.
They've got a narrative that they're playing to, and they want to paint a real broad picture of distrust of these poor minorities that are just under siege in cities across America. This is an outrage, and it's just not true. The stats don't back it up. The you know, I'm telling you, man. If I was a cop, could you imagine if all of them just went, you know what, none of us are going to work today. You fuckers deal with it. Yeah. Good luck. And every cop took their badge off and just said, no, I'm calling in sick today. And then no more cops. Do whatever you want, assholes. You want to be animals in the street, knock yourselves out. Because the first person you're going to call, the first person you're always going to call is the same. 911, I need help. Get over here, get over here. And then you boo them as they walk down your street. What the fuck do you want from them?
Why would you want to be one? Why would you want to be
in New York
PD right now?
You get shit pay. You get pissed on by the leader of your own city. It's despicable. It's despicable. I mean, you've got guys they're peaceful protests as they're looting their own city or whatever else, chanting, "What do we want? Dead cops. When do we want it? Now."
That's incredible, man.
And
really
it's like,
is.
well, that's just a few bad apples, you know. No, it wasn't. It was thousands and thousands of people. What do we want? Dead cops. When do we want it? Now. Shoot back. They're chanting, shoot back.
Damn, and you're right about the media.
Infuriating.
You're right about the media just stoking this thing. You know, if the media doesn't play into this and want this story out there, it never happens.
Yeah.
It just doesn't.
It's the same whether you put Dzhokhar Sarnav on the cover of Rolling Stone, and if I didn't know better, I'd think it's a young Bob Dylan on the cover of Rolling Stone.
Right, I remember that.
I mean, full headshot, looks like Bob Dylan in the 60s, looks cooler than shit. You put him on the cover for murder, and you turn him into a rock star. Chicks think he's hot. People are writing him in jail. He's a celebrity. If that guy walked out of jail tomorrow, he'd have more pussy than he knew what to deal with, and he'd be signing autographs. And the media would be clamoring to interview him. It's disgusting. And the same thing is going on here. You're giving these people a forum to act like total pieces of shit. Look at that. Look at that cover rolling. It's disgusting.
The bomber.
What? No, don't do it, Timko.
No, that one's all right.
All right.
I mean, this is Jay-Z's Magna Carta album is coming out, and this piece of shit's on the cover of Rolling Stone. Wonderful. I read an interesting story in the Post today about these protests. Thought those anti-cop protests were peaceful? Think again.
Ha!
And it kind of breaks down like what's going on. Let's make believe that only a handful of those anti-police protesters disrupting the city are hell-bent on mayhem. To get there, you have to ignore hundreds, if not thousands in Manhattan caught, what do we want? Dead cops, all that shit. You have to overlook those shoot-back chants as well. The nut job caught trying to throw a garbage can onto the Brooklyn Bridge roadway and punching a cop. And you have to ignore the peaceful protesters who were taped helping him escape and kicked a cop when he was on the ground. Nice, huh? Let's pick up the rabble's battle cry that the police are an occupying army of racist white brutes that have that the 5 officers assaulted had it coming. Let's ignore reality to pretend de Blasio is on solid ground when he stokes the flames by saying police are a threat to his biracial kid. To believe that, you now have to erase two sets of facts. One, the fact that violent crime in New York is overwhelmingly the province of non-white males, both victims and perps. Two, you have to disregard that police shot at only 40 suspects last year, reaching a historic low. Cops fired their guns in just 81 incidents in 2013, including 19 times at dogs. The incidents include 6 police suicides, as against 8 armed suspects the police shot and killed. It's only by peeling back the layers of pretend that we get to the naked truth. It's a lie that turns truth on its head, meaning the movement the mayor praises as organic and says is raising legitimate concerns is a scam foisted on the public for the sole purpose of advancing a far-left political agenda. The NYPD saved the city from killers, rapists, and muggers, and most New Yorkers know it. To de Blasio, the wall of trust is a barrier to his agenda of class and race warfare. He harped on the tale of 2 cities and income inequality not to fix the problems, whipping up the crowds to fool the public into thinking there's a serious police problem that must be fixed. Open a new phase in his campaign. His son is just another tool in his bag of bullshit.
See, he chose politics above, like you say, reality and kind of practicality. I mean, what he said played into what happened, undeniably. It set the stage for this. It was foreseeable that something like this would happen when you throw your employees under the bus like that.
Totally. And then you have Sharpton, who came out yesterday too.
God.
Yeah.
He's done with his Sony meetings, and he's got time to get into this now.
Yeah.
he has his hand in everything now. It's ridiculous.
Anywhere he
Fucking
can,
asshole.
he wants his hand in
Not
everywhere.
with so many meetings.
He claimed Sunday that he's received death threats ever since these 2 cops were murdered. Good, I guess. Is that a bad thing? Is that necessarily a bad thing? And then he holds up his phone in a press conference and plays a message that someone left him on his phone. He was appearing, by the way, alongside the wife and mother of Eric Garner.
So he's trying to turn this thing on its head and make it back about,
Yeah. Yep. He got racist threats made against him. Hey, N-word, stop killing innocent people. I'm going to get you. And then the guy dropped the F-bomb like 3 times in the message, said fuck 3 times, and he just played that over the microphones and for all of New York to see. Asshole. Sharpton took umbrage with police union leaders who have blasted de Blasio for allegedly inciting violence against cops. To blame the mayor and others is not what we need. The blame game will only lead to further kinds of venom and further division.
What?
That's exactly what you do, fuckface. You blame people. That's all you do is blame people. You
Just this mayor was on the same political side as him.
Yes.
This time, so
That's infuriating. Who does more blaming and finger pointing than Al
That's all he
Sharpton?
is. That's all he does. That's his whole agenda.
this mayor was on his side. Ferguson's was not.
Yeah, that's right. It's so funny. It's like, we need transparency. We need the truth to come out. What all we heard was how we want the truth to come out and transparency and justice. Just don't show the video of Mike Brown 3 minutes earlier robbing a store.
Yeah.
Don't show that. That's just
It's irrelevant.
It's
Character assassination.
character assassination.
God,
This is an outrage.
You're right.
They're assassinating his character. No, he did that himself. Nobody assassinated his character like himself. It's hilarious.
Transparency. Oh, but except that.
Except that, don't show that.
Oh, and then
You assassinated a young teen just on his way to Nana's house. Ugh.
and the blame game, of course. Don't know blame game.
And then Garner's wife and mother eulogized the 2 slain officers.
Wow.
How insulting.
What?
They rejected any link between the protesters and the protests they've led and Saturday night's tragedy in
Fucking kidding
Brooklyn.
me?
My husband was not a violent man, and we don't want any violence connected to his name. Thank you.
Hasn't Garner's wife though said that all along? And
Yes, lawyers have convinced her to say that all
okay,
along.
Okay.
Right? You know how that game goes.
Yeah, but she's not as goofy as the Mike Brown parents. She seems to be a bit more reserved and
Look, this is very simple, and it's been said many, many times. But with Eric Garner, it's a tragedy that it came to what it did. Nobody, I don't care what side of the argument you're on, thinks that it's a good thing that Eric Garner died. I don't think so. But to act as if he was murdered by a racist cop who choked him out to death is just a flat lie. It is. The fact is he was 400 pounds. He was constantly in trouble, and he was resisting. You resist. If he puts his hands in front and just goes, you guys got me this time. Okay. And went downtown for the 32nd time and just played ball, he'd be alive today to break the law every single day like he did every single day over the last 40 years. He'd be alive and standing there selling his Lucy cigarettes right now today. The fact is he had a heart attack.
If he was a white guy, same conditions, same facts, same thing would have
Dead
happened.
too. Yep. He would have been alive to see his 33rd arrest. Sorry. He would have. I can't breath. Can't breathe. The Obamas aren't helping any of this shit either. I don't know if you saw, and we've had this story for a couple days. We've just run out of time, but it seems a little fitting today. They gave an interview with People magazine that came out Friday.
Why are they talking to People?
Why do they do anything they do?
I don't.
Seriously.
They're the movie star.
I know.
Ugh.
I mean, he's on Colbert, you know. He's in the Two Ferns. He's doing his NCAA bracket every year.
Yeah. He's in Hawaii while the country's falling apart and
Yeah.
going to war over a fucking movie. So he and his wife, Michelle, so they personally identify with everyday experiences of racial bias in America.
They
really?
do. They
As the
do.
president and first lady,
Yes.
you really...
He has fucking people that make his breakfast. But he doesn't have a wallet anymore. He hasn't driven a car in 8 years probably.
Barack was a black man that lived in the south side of Chicago who had his share of troubles catching cabs.
Or did he?
Barry,
Really? Yeah, Barry.
not
In
Barack.
really, in Chicago, you really had a problem catching cabs?
On one occasion, her husband was wearing a tuxedo at a black tie dinner, and somebody asked him to get coffee.
Oh!
Well, here, newsflash for you, Michelle. That's happened to me. That's happened to me in stores where people have asked me if I can help them find something.
I was going to ask you, have you ever done that? You asked somebody,
Yes.
hey, can you, oh shit, you're not.
And the truth is I would never ask a black guy for fear of offending someone. But that's happened to me in stores where someone goes, excuse me, sir, can you tell me where the blah, blah, and it's like, I don't fucking work here. What do I look like?
Yeah, it's happened to me too.
Yeah.
And
racist.
I almost asked a lady the other day. I'm glad I was one step away. I'm like, I don't think, okay.
If it happens again, I'm going to send him on a goose chase. Be like,
Yeah.
you're going to want to go 14 aisles down that way. I know it seems like a weird spot for it to be, but it's right over there. You'll find it.
It's next to the panty liners.
I just thought about doing that before.
Obama's even been mistakenly treated as a valet. Hey, guess what, Michelle? So have I. Coming out of a restaurant and had a fucking stuffed shirt white guy come up and go, hand me his ticket. And I'm like, what do you want me to do with this, fucker? I'm waiting for my car, too. I realize I'm dressed like a slob, but I just ate here as well. Fuck off. Like, that happens to people. Does it always have to be a black thing? Is it always because
I totally
you're black?
see you getting handed a ticket.
Totally. Multiple times. And I don't look very dark. I don't look very black at all.
Now, you're pretty Caucasian.
I am. There's no black male my age who's a professional who hasn't come out of a restaurant and is waiting for their car and somebody didn't hand him their car keys. Well, newsflash, it's happened to me plenty of times too, Barack, Barry. The First Lady also described being mistreated. Keyword, mistreated at Target. At a store in Washington during a shopping spree she took in 2011.
What?
She's the First Lady of the United States of America at this point, and she's been mistreated in a Target. She's wearing sunglasses and a hat. Even as the First Lady, during their wonderfully publicized trip I took to Target, not highly disguised, the only person who came up to me in the store was a woman who asked me to help her take something off a shelf. Oh, the outrage! Honey, you're 6'4". What?
Yeah.
Like, that happens all the time. People ask someone taller to get something off the shelf.
Wasn't that the goal, she said, to be there, but be like a little more, inconspicuous? So if she's wearing sunglasses and a hat, it's not out of realm that someone would ask a tall person for something off the shelf.
It just sucks that every life experience gets filtered through. Is this happening because of my race?
Yeah.
That would suck to be in that situation. I don't know where that's your mindset.
But if you choose to see it like that,
I agree. It is a choice, and I've sat there in depositions with plaintiffs who are suing companies that I'm representing, and they're sitting there with a race claim, and you're going over, okay, tell me everything that you believe was discriminatory, you know, and they start from like day one of their job, and they talk about, you know, how this guy, you know, went to, you know, shake somebody's hand, and they you know, kind of knocked them to the side and shook the other person before they shook theirs.
Outrage!
It's just, you know, dumb shit like that, and they're.
I was cut off in line.
Yeah, anything, you know. Yeah, right. I was standing in line for coffee, and some guy went in front of me, and really, dude, you know, that happens to everybody. Max Scherzer did it to me, man.
Yeah.
Took
For
my
a burrito.
fucking burrito.
Could you imagine if every incident that you felt like you were slighted, every time you got cut off in traffic, every time someone, God forbid, asked you to pull something off a shelf at a store, if that was deemed racist? Racism? Really? Really? Racism?
And that's the unfortunate part about this whole fucking thing we've been through over the last 4 months is it's dredged all this up again, and so there's going to be a whole new set of people and, you know, a whole new thought process by people who hopefully we're getting by that, you know, and starting to not think that way, who are now, again, going to be thinking that way.
You're right. You're right. She said these incidents are a regular course of life for African Americans and a challenge for the country to overcome. Like, if the first family is saying this bullshit,
man, and I hate to just go, well, you know, conservative, liberal, but it is the liberal agenda.
Why though?
To create that division.
What possible plus can come out of this?
Because you're feeding into the little guy. I mean, very basically, you know, the agenda is to make the little guy feel that
if you create fear,
they're downtrodden. There's separation, you know, and we as the Democrats, the Democratic Party. I hate to fucking frame it.
I know,
like
so do I, because I don't
Republican.
feel like a Republican at all. I probably sound like one, but I don't feel like a Republican at all.
But it's hard to separate politics here because it really is a political stance. It's an ideology. It's a way of their thinking that they're, you know, the Democrats are the ones who, you know, pull up the little guy and they're standing there for them, and the stereotypical Republican is just for the rich and this and that, and so
exactly the opposite of what this country was built on, by the way.
Yeah.
That you're supposed to pick everybody up and pull the weakest link along.
Right.
It's not what this country was founded on.
You saw the whole campaign. We talked about it just the other day. The lady who was exclaiming, Obama's in office now. Now I'm going to have cable and a phone, you know, and they just played off that so much, and the class warfare, and that's really what De Blasio was playing off of when he made those comments, and it's absurd. It's unfortunate. It just creates a bigger divide.
But by creating that, as you're pretty much saying it, but by creating that, it makes them say, oh, these are people who are standing up for me, so, you know, and the other people aren't.
Right.
Yeah. So you're just gonna keep voting, you know, just as long as we can keep getting in office and we keep getting our agenda.
Yeah. Newsflash: they're gonna get murdered in the next election.
I know, like they did like
they did in November. Yeah. If you look at after what happened with Michael Brown, this is a quote from the president. If you look at what happened after Michael Brown, if you look at what happened after Trayvon, if you looked at the decision after Eric Garner, I'm being pretty explicit about my concern and being pretty explicit about the fact that this is a systematic problem. That black folks and Latinos and others are not just making this up. I describe it in very personal terms. He applauds the efforts of the African-American athletes using the I Can't Breathe slogan.
Most of them with I Can't Breathe.
Right, exactly. I think LeBron did the right thing.
He had breathe, right?
Yeah, he had it right. So did.
Was it the Brooklyn, the Nets, that all 4 or 5 of them standing there with I Can't Breathe?
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Lots of them. I'd like to see more athletes do that, not just around this issue, but around other issues.
What are you? Sorry.
He gets so. But it's just interesting that this one president who was supposed to he ran on a campaign to unite the country. What happens? A black guy gets. Remember the one where he had the beers at his house? Yes. I don't even such bullshit.
Remember
story.
what brought that on? But it was a professor, I think, and.
Yeah, I don't remember the facts of it either, but it was
he just divided further, you know.
And it's just like stuff that the president shouldn't be worried about.
Yeah.
He's got real issues. You would hope that the president of the United States of America has real issues to deal with, not get involved. I mean, basically, we've said that our grand jury is full of shit, and all of our police are full of shit too.
Mm-hmm.
And for political leaders, for community leaders to play along that narrative for political gain is insulting. Seriously, how dare you? I mean, the whole country is based on our justice system. Is it perfect? Of course not. Are there racist radio hosts? Of course there are. Are there racist police everywhere in the country? There are probably examples, just as there are probably racist doctors here and there. There are probably racist lawyers here and there. There are probably, it's just a nature of us as human beings.
Racist car porters?
For sure. Absolutely.
Nope. Well, there might be, but not me, my man.
But it's just, I think it's scary to act like, oh, we get a few facts from a grand jury and then to totally rule out all of the evidence that they saw that you didn't see. And then just go, oh, they fucked it up again. How dare they? They're all racist. Really? Really? Do you really think the grand jury's looking at everything with just a racist view? That's sad.
And that's the problem is we get to race simply because the players are one race or the other. You know? It's simply because this story, the Garner story, was a white cop on the black guy. Again, I don't know them. But just looking at the facts from afar, it seems to me that if Garner was white, the same thing would have happened.
Yep.
If that cop was black, the same thing would have happened.
Totally.
And so how do you just jump to the conclusion that race played a factor in there? It doesn't. Just because one is white and one is black does not mean race played a factor.
Not at all.
It just means one was white and one was black.
Don't you think?
How do you show the animus? There needs to be animus there.
Yeah, which is why these grand juries have such a hard time going. I mean, if you've got the cop putting Garner in a headlock going, you fucking N-word.
Yeah.
Like, then it's like,
of course.
Clearly he doesn't like black. He's tired of these N-words behaving this way. There's none of that. There's nobody.
There's none of that with Wilson. I'm sure they dug and tried to find anything remotely racist on his part, and there wasn't.
We've already said when it would have came out.
For sure.
If he had been on if he'd ever made a tweet or ever made a Facebook thing or made a
comment
text,
to a shitty ex-girlfriend or to a buddy, anything,
it would have came out.
Yeah, trust me, they're still digging for that. Anything. They're trying to pin him like on a police force he used to work for had some issues with people making claims of racial bias. And it's like, he used to work for that police department, must be a racist. Yeah. Like, really?
So without any evidence of animus, you just have to go, okay, a person did this to another person. Now, grand jury, figure out if that's a crime, you know? Look at the evidence. And
like that should, you're right. That's exactly
and that's what they did in both instances, and they said no. They looked at the technical elements of the crime and the facts, and they applied it, and they had way more access than any fucking else, anybody else out there.
Yep.
So for commentators or political leaders or Sharpton or you or me to say that we know better, it's bullshit.
Yeah.
They saw it all. And it's huge. I say it all the time, but to be able to look into a witness's eyes and judge that person on credibility is enormous. And as opposed to just reading a transcript or hearing about what the testimony technically said.
Yeah.
Body language is a ton.
You had a deposition this weekend. How did it go? Or on
Friday.
Friday.
Yeah.
Did you?
Oh God.
Can I ask one question? I know you can't give me too many details, I'm sure, but did the question come up?
Do you know a man named Stan Berta?
Did that play a factor in this?
Oh well, yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes.
Excellent.
What did they say? What was the answer?
It was essentially a no comprende. It was a 52-year-old Mexican woman.
She didn't.
Berta.
You should have asked him about Jose or Jose B.
Yeah, I should have brought up. You know who Jose B?
See, he my brother.
He's my brother.
My brother, Jose B.
You know what? This DEP is reconvening, so I could ask that.
Jose B.
Yeah, I'll bring up Jose B.
No, don't.
Yeah.
Don't.
Yes,
You know a young man named Jose B.
Yes.
Just go.
See, half of my village.
Half of my village.
All of Jose's
man.
brothers.
Because it can't be Jose. He's right. You can't ask Jose.
Yeah, I'll ask
of course
Jose
they're gonna
B.
know who Jose is.
You can ask that. You'll
Sure I
be
can.
you'll be called a racist if you ask Jose B.
I'll ask it.
Do you think she'll get it?
No, and I don't think the other lawyers will either. Though they were half asleep on Friday. I pretty much put them asleep, man. I questioned this lady for like 7 hours straight.
Oh no.
Yeah, about some sexual harassment and shit. It got pretty gross.
Is she gonna clean up? She kicking your ass?
Dude, she was all over the map.
Really?
Yes.
I would not want to be questioned by you for 7
Neither
hours.
would I.
I gotta be
It's
honest.
incredible, man, because they think they know where you're going, and then if you just turn tide and leave that subject and then come back to it later, you get them on shit. she waffled really hard.
Well,
on
when
a few
Blue
things.
waffle?
You know.
Blue waffled several
Yeah,
times.
right.
When you have those stories, the bottom line is if you're
Don't
making
search it,
stuff
people.
up or if you're
Exactly.
it's-
Yeah. If it's fake, it's gonna come out. You
It
know?
just seems like I think I could fake you out. I think I could win if I had a nice bullshit story that was held together and
Yeah.
I knew my bullshit story.
It's got to be.
I feel like you can come at me from any angle you
Oh,
want.
you could. Yeah. I mean, if you really, really, thought it through and were very, very careful. But
Yeah.
the problem is
Most
they're
people
not.
aren't.
They're just idiots.
Yeah.
And you know what? By you saying that and the concept of saying stories and it's hard to. It goes right into the Ferguson thing that you guys were talking about. These guys saw the witnesses and they're
Yeah.
questioning them and questioning and questioning them, and we have to think that people probably saw. Hey, if they did see something weird, it's like, come on, that was a little inconsistent there.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, that's what jurors do all the time. Grand jurors or regular jurors. You're watching and you're looking and you're going, okay, that they're telling that story, but I don't believe them. They just don't look credible.
Yeah.
I believe that guy instead of that guy.
Yeah.
Two totally different versions.
And we didn't see that. And
Yeah.
you know who did see it? The grand jury.
Exactly.
And you know that when you're talking to like everybody's had talks with a guy at work who you know is full of shit.
Yeah.
Right.
You
so
just
can
do. And
pick
you
up on
don't
it.
have to be a brilliant lawyer to know when someone's full of shit
Yeah.
and when someone's a good bullshitter. I mean, people tell great stories and some people you just usually you can see through a lot of that. Now I wouldn't want to take you on in a courtroom, but I think it's not impossible to see when people are totally full of shit.
Yeah.
And most people in their lives know that.
Mhm.
Family, friends, they just go, oh yeah, that's Clarence,
Mm-hmm.
and he's full of shit.
Yeah, you get to the
what
point,
are you gonna do?
Right, at the beginning, there's you know him at first, and you kind of like question it, and then eventually you get to the point where you just kind of go, whatever.
Yeah.
You don't even listen.
And moreover, things are usually as they seem to be.
Totally.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's always these stories that people are trying to tell. It's like, no, that's just it seems implausible because it just didn't likely happen that way.
And
it
usually-
likely happens the way it's likely to happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when it does, the few times that it isn't as it seems, usually you can tell that too because of how the person tells you the story.
Yeah.
They're like, dude, trust me, I know this sounds, or
Yep.
whatever. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Hey, who wouldn't love a new iPad or MacBook Air to download the latest episode of the Detroit Cast? Well, Nationwide Surplus can set you up. They sell everything computer-related, laptops, servers, PCs, latest Apple equipment. Check them out at nationwidesurplus.com. They've got great deals on computers, accessories, and components, free shipping on hundreds of items. So, and if you shop now and use the promo code PINKHAT, you get an additional 10% off your purchase. So check them out at nationwidesurplus.com. Why don't we take a quick break, and we'll come back and we'll touch on
We got to
North
talk
Korea.
about Un being a dick.
Yeah.
He's being a total little weenus.
We'll definitely get into Un. And then we got some other interesting stories too, including Boko Haram and some drive-through stuff, and we'll get into it all next.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break.
Hey there, it's Steve Gabarra, the general manager at Zott Ford in Holly. It's our Dream Big event, which means Zott Ford wants to make all your transportation dreams come true. For a limited time, you and your loved ones can get a new Ford Focus, Fusion, or Escape for just $156 a month. Go ahead and pull the mistletoe out of your ears because you heard right. $156 for a new Ford Focus, Fusion, or Escape. See the details in our massive inventory at ZottFord.com. We'll see you soon, and happy holidays from Zott Ford in Holly.
The Detroit Cast continues now, bitches. Here's Mike and Jay.
All right, welcome back to the Detroit Cast on a Monday with Mike and Jay. And we got another cop that almost died in New York City over the weekend. I don't know if you heard about this one.
Dude aimed a gun at him and let fly pulled the trigger a couple times and nothing, right? Empty.
Yep. Pointed the gun at him twice, pulled the trigger, and this is in the Bronx, not realizing he'd already emptied his weapon.
On windows. They were called to the scene because the dude was emptying his weapon on just shooting at windows.
Yeah. And then they told him to drop it. He turned and pointed at the guy's head, pulled the trigger twice, and there was nothing left in it. Nice. Ooh. And then we have another dead cop. Officer shot and killed. This in Florida. Yesterday, police have arrested 23-year-old Marco Antonio Perea Jr. on suspicion of first-degree murder. The officer, 45-year-old Charles Kondek, a 17-year vet of the local department. Authorities say he responded to a call for service shortly after 2 a.m. Police said the suspect shot at the officer, then fled the scene in a vehicle, crashed into a pole and another vehicle. He was then apprehended by police. Kondek was the father of 5 children.
Oh, jeez.
Nice. How about Oon? Our favorite guy, Oon.
You know, he's putting himself into a little realm here that he's becoming unlikable, man.
I totally agree.
You know? He was such a fun dictator before this.
He was an evil dictator that we really, really did enjoy his work. I mean, all the things we'd heard about him and his father and grandfather. I mean,
he put aside all the atrocities and the
I'm willing to overlook those. I mean, this is as bad as
like a fun little guy.
This is like finding out that GLJ isn't everything he's cracked up to be, and that'd be a really sad day at the Detroit Cast. And North Korea now is accusing the U.S. government of being behind the making of the movie The Interview, which is kind of hilarious.
Well, of course they are, because they want to make this a big victory against America in total, not just against a company, right?
Yeah. This is a 31-year-old kid.
That little son of a bitch. Look at him. Oon! God, I can't wait for his eyes to go, though, so he can adopt those sweet glasses his dad had.
Yeah.
Really, really played well with the character, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely. And it
big
worked.
Fucking glasses.
It worked perfect in Team America, too.
Yeah, I've seen the little clay. Like I said, didn't see the movie, but I've seen.
You have to borrow it tonight and watch it. It's so good. In a dispatch, and this is easy for them to sell to their people, because
so insulated.
They're so insulated in North Korea that they believe that their government is responsible for Hollywood movies.
Yeah.
Un tells the people that we made Frozen, and they're like, oh, wonderful. Un made Frozen. Oh, yes.
Let it go. Yeah. Let it go.
Let it go. So for them to go, oh, yeah, the Obama administration made The Interview, and we took down America.
Seems very reasonable.
Yeah, I don't know why you would talk like that, but yeah, you know what I'm saying, though. It seems reasonable. You're right, to those people. And in they had a dispatch on state media. The regime warns the United States that U.S. citadels will be attacked, dwarfing the hacking attack on Sony. While denying involvement in the hack, North Korea accused Obama of calling for symmetric counteraction. The DPRK has already launched the toughest counteraction. Nothing is more serious miscalculation than guessing that just a single movie production company is the target of this counteraction. Our target is all the citadels of the U.S. imperialists who earned the bitterest grudge of all Koreans.
But we didn't do it.
But we had nothing to do with it. But the people that did it's pretty cool. Thanks. We support it and stuff, but we had nothing to do with it. Our toughest counteraction will be boldly taken against the White House, the Pentagon, and the whole U.S. mainland, the cesspool of terrorism. Fighters for justice and guardians of peace are sharpening bayonets. Bayonets? Bayonets? Is that what we're fighting with now? Bayonets?
What is this, a Civil War?
Trench warfare again?
Apparently they're sharpening their bayonets not only in the U.S. mainland but in all other parts of the world. While the film was the work of private individuals, North Korea insisted otherwise in its statement. The DPRK is clear evidence that the U.S. administration was deeply involved in the making of such dishonest reactionary movie. Really, Yoon? Sony said the studio has not given in to pressure from hackers and was still considering ways to distribute the movie. Look, I don't blame Sony entirely in this. I don't blame Sony really at all in this, to be honest with you. I think Sony had every intention of releasing that movie, but when they gave the word, like, hey, because the only reason they issued that, like, if you don't want to run it in your theaters, was because of all the other movies that were coming out that same day, and people were scared. They didn't want people not going to the theaters. So I think Sony took one for the team and gave them an out. When everybody took it and ran with it, what was Sony going to do? Nobody was going to run that movie in their theaters. Nobody. But it's good to see Sony standing up going, hey.
No, if they had real balls, though, they would have said, okay, we're going to get creative, or we're going to release this thing somehow via internet, you know? And you can enjoy it from your own home, log on, pay for it.
And that still may happen, it sounds like, which would be awesome. I think it'd be a massive hit. I think people would just want to see it just because. It could be the greatest thing ever for Sony. But I think Sony was so left on an island. They were left on an island. The government should have stepped in and said something, not after the fact, not after they dumped the movie.
I wondered that the whole time, you know, what was the communication like between the government and them? It should have been hand in hand, and it should have been jointly
swift
kind of decided, you know what I mean? Like, because it was a national security issue.
Yeah.
But it looks like, that the government just sort of sat on the sideline and watched. I don't know.
It sure felt like they did.
Yeah.
And you know,
sat back, let them do that, and then just criticize, you know? Oh, they never should have done that. We would have been stronger.
And what was the fear? That if something happened in one theater, they'd be sued for everything?
Yeah.
But I think, and we talked about this a couple weeks ago, or whenever this first happened, and we were asking about insurance and waivers and claims. I'm pretty sure that it's built into every movie theater that you take certain risks and they're not responsible, just like you had mentioned with a baseball game.
Right.
They're not responsible if a bat comes flying into the stands or a baseball gets screaming down the foul line at 100 miles an hour, and Nana takes one in the kisser. They're just not responsible for that. It's part of the risk you take going to a game.
Yeah, but it's more than just money payout. It's how the company then looks if something catastrophic did happen, you know?
Yeah, but what if it had nothing to do with that group and some asswipe just wanted to play on the fact that, oh, this threat's been made, so they're going to take advantage of that? Do you blame Sony?
Right.
I mean...
Yeah, it can happen anytime, anywhere. You remember the Batman one?
Well, yeah,
dude,
totally.
Where does that stand, by the way? Is he still... When is he going to be tried? Or that asshole?
Question. I mean, the Pigman's going to come up before that.
God, he better.
Yeah.
Wait for that Pigman.
No, you're right. You're right though. Like
I know.
Who would fucking say? Is anyone really gonna stop going to movies? Like if it happened in a Star Theater and I'm like, oh, there was a thing over this movie, I'm gonna stop seeing movies at Star Theater from now on.
Yeah.
No. Just gonna keep going to see movies if you want to.
Just like the Batman thing that you just talked about. People didn't stop going. People stop going to movies because it's a better experience in your house.
That's what I was gonna say, man. They have major problems,
As they should.
Yeah.
They're charging $9 for a Coke and $20 for a popcorn.
Yeah.
What do they expect?
Yeah.
It's just, I think it's a better experience in my house where I can rewind something if I want.
Yeah, and they're forgetting that most people can't stand other people.
Yeah,
right?
I was just going to say, all the fucking idiots.
Yeah.
They're making all the racket. And all
so you pay all that money to enjoy everybody else around you.
Thanks. When we were kids, it's like you didn't breathe in the theater. You get decked by your parents, But now there's kids coughing and texting and all kinds of shit.
Yeah, the phones are the big problem.
Yeah.
I love going to the movies. I love going.
God, of course you do.
Get my freaking popcorn. I have to get popcorn.
You do?
Oh yeah, have to.
You get the refill and everything before you leave. Go refill it again.
Well, Jay, I don't know if I mentioned it on here. I don't know if I was off air or not, but there was a while there at MJR because they let you get the refills that I had a bag for like a year or two.
You'd carry in a bag.
I seriously got it, but in my pocket.
You'd buy the kid ticket. I know that.
Buy the kid ticket, and then I would carry it in my pocket,
Dude,
and then go in and then come back. I'm like, oh, I need a refill.
You're such a fook
they probably knew too. They just saw
I
a kid
know.
making $8 an hour doesn't give a shit. He's like,
You know,
whatever, dude.
I will. No, you know what though? I didn't do it. The only times I wouldn't do it is if
Why
you-
didn't you just pick up a fucking bag in the theater and dump the remaining contents
I
out?
don't know. Who knows what that person? I don't know. They ate something or
Oh,
whatever.
he's got.
Yeah, all of a sudden,
He's worried about bacteria all of a sudden.
the guy that doesn't wipe or
Well, I will say though, like I wouldn't do it if we randomly went on a day when it wasn't busy. It had to be a busy night because I figured if it was empty in the place, they would probably remember that I didn't come up and buy popcorn earlier. I swear though, I did have a bag for at least a year. At least a year. And I just put it in my pocket every
how many
time.
bags of popcorn do you think you got from that?
Who knows, dude? Because I
You
used
go
to
to a lot of movies?
I used to back in the day. There was a time when I was going once a week. I would just go see movies once a week. I didn't even care what movie.
I'm
it was.
surprised you even buy a ticket. You can sneak past and
Yeah, well,
Not
you're
in
right.
a pink hat. You couldn't.
yeah, maybe.
Yeah, you're right. That's a good point. No, at the places I go, they pretty much was always this guy. How it walked in, you really couldn't walk in another entrance. The place I used to go to every time. There really wasn't other doors.
You don't think a buddy could get his attention for a second so you could weasel by?
I don't know. Maybe.
30.666.
Well, no, back then here I was
And
like,
he's thinking about sneaking into movies.
Yep.
no, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna sneak in the movies, but
Stealing popcorn.
I do the
buying the juvenile ticket.
I do buy the child ticket to this day. I would if I go see a movie, I'll absolutely go to buy the child ticket. So.
A new video came out over the weekend, by the way. Not a movie or video we'd be interested in, but from our friends at Boko Haram.
You hear that, Timko? We're not interested in seeing it. We are not interested.
Got it.
And do not, everybody, please, I'm deadly serious here. Do not search Blue Waffle. Don't do it. This is an order from the Detroit Cast. Do not Google image search Blue Waffle. It's numerous people act like, oh, I didn't know. I thought I was supposed to. No, I'm being very clear. I'm like Michael Brown's parents. I just want peace in the streets. That's all I want. Al Sharpton speaking to you. We just want peace. This is a peaceful protest. I'm absolutely begging you, do not Google image search Blue Waffle. Just don't do it.
And it's
There.
not an open oyster. You're wondering.
No. It doesn't matter what it is because you're not supposed to search it on orders. For me and the Brown family and the Sharptons this holiday season. Boko Haram, this video, though, shows gunmen mowing down civilians, lying face down in a dorm, and a leader saying they are being killed because they are infidels.
Taking a cue from ISIS, man.
Yeah. Taking it up a notch, huh? There are so many corpses that the gunmen have difficulty stepping to reach bodies still twitching with life. Most appear to be adult men. We have made sure the floor of this hall is turned red with blood, and this is how it's going to be in all future attacks and arrests of infidels. From now, killing, slaughtering, destructions, and bombing will be our religious duty anywhere we invade. Your religious duty, okay. The video was released to journalists over the weekend, comes 2 days after villagers reported that the extremists are rounding up elderly people and mowing them down.
Wow.
Yeah, this in northeast Nigeria.
GLJ doesn't deserve this, man.
No, he's got enough on his plate, man. He really does. In the video, the leader notes the Prophet Muhammad advised prisoners should be held, not killed. Interesting. But we felt this is not the right time for us to keep prisoners. That is why we will continue to see that the grounds are crimson with the flowing blood of prisoners. So their own God tells them, hold prisoners, do not murder them, and they've decided, no, our God, our all-loving, peace-loving God,
Who we're generally following here.
yeah, was wrong. He's wrong about this thing, so we're going to do it the exact opposite way and just murder them all.
Yeah. I mean, the whole infidel thing, God's right about that, but...
Right, and everything else.
Yeah.
But it's just too hard. We don't have enough jail cells, so we'll just kill them all instead. Thousands of people have been killed in the 5-year insurgency that's spilling across the borders into Cameroon, Chad, and Niger.
And then I presume their God says take the women and go ahead and rape them and whatever, right?
Yeah. Can I ask you a question, Jay? And
I know where you're going.
What? What?
Just go with it.
No, I was.
I know you just read the name of the country.
No, well, I was just going to say, if I spell something, can you just pronounce it for me?
Sure.
All right. B-I-G.
Big.
D-I-G.
Dig.
F-I-G.
Fig. Newton.
Yep. MIG.
Mig.
PIG.
Pig.
RIG.
Rig.
TWIG.
Twig.
WIG.
Wig.
ZIG.
Zig.
NIGER.
Niger.
Oh,
Oh, you asshole!
Wow.
You
Wow.
asshole!
what happened there? That's
Crazy.
weird.
'Cause I've never.
You're sure though? Because I mean,
Those
you're.
letters
I
together?
admit you're much more scholarly than I am. You're probably a much better speller.
That's the pronunciation.
Okay.
Of those letters together.
It just seems odd that it.
I knew you were. As soon as you got to the end of that story, I knew you were coming back to that.
What?
You son of a bitch.
You picked that up at BIG.
Yeah. No, I picked that up at. You know.
Am I that predictable?
I just saw a little twinkle in your eye.
I apologize. Hey, we've all been to McDonald's a time or two in our lives, right?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. We're all kind of considered players in our own right?
E?
E?
In his own way, yeah.
He just threw out the West Side. Well, in Pennsylvania, this handsome devil here,
Yeah. Woo.
good-looking guy, his eyes are a little spaced out.
You know what
more
the thing
than
about him is he's too symmetrical.
Oh,
Look at
he
his face.
is. You're right.
Look
Yeah.
at him. He's a mirror image.
Wow.
Throw a mirror on his nose.
That's weird. You're
It's
not
incredible. Yeah, they say the more symmetrical you are, the stranger you look. You need
right.
sort of an ear off, an eye a little raised above the other.
You're not supposed to be.
Yeah.
Really.
Like they've done, somebody's done that where they take supposedly the most beautiful Hollywood stars and they make their face perfectly symmetrical and they look like friggin' aliens, man.
Wow, you're right. That dude is symmetrical.
Look at him.
So weird.
His ears line up, his
Yeah.
eyes. Yeah, that's weird. Anyway, he went to a drive-thru at McDonald's and
Right.
fondled a woman,
Right.
right? Because,
Oh,
she's
yeah.
working the night shift. His name is Michael Jenkins. He and another man walked up early Thursday morning. He reportedly flirted with this McDonald's employee and offered to pick her up later,
Ooh, what?
wanted to take her out.
Hey, what are you doing after this shift?
Later that day, she blew him off, was just like, whatever, ignored him. Before departing, he reached in and grabbed her titties.
Into the drive-through window.
Yeah.
Don't they have that little plunger where, like, when they lean out, it opens the windows?
Yeah.
Is that how that works?
Yeah.
Yeah, they lean onto like a plunger and it presses in, and
Yeah.
So
so she's leaning back and he reaches in.
grabbed a hold of titties.
2 all beef patties.
Oh, Jay, see what
Like
you did
that?
there?
Yeah, I see
Well,
what I
she
did?
she got all worked up and
Special
pulled
sauce.
her lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions.
That's sesame seed bun.
Not bad.
I don't know
So
what's
she got her chicken McNuggets in a bunch.
Oh! The fuck was that, dude? The fuck, I want to shoot myself. I'm so sorry, man.
Don't be.
I am. That was fucking. Can I rewind 10 seconds?
Nope. Sorry. Sorry.
That is the most embarrassing thing I think I've done on this show.
Really?
No, it wasn't. Not even close.
It was to me.
Not even close. So anyway, he grabs her titties and she shuts the window and then she tells her manager, who calls 911. I don't know how would they do this, but that's a nice set of titties, by the way. He went off to a bar with his buddy and the cops came in and found him in this bar. And they're like, "Were you at McDonald's?" He's like, "Yeah, that chick totally wants me. I'm a player."
He did say that, right?
Yeah.
That's the quote.
Yeah,
Are you kidding
I'm a player.
me?
Yeah, he's like, I'm quite a ladies' man. That chick wanted me.
Oh, really?
And
So
they're
much
like-
so that the girl from McDonald's didn't want
Yeah.
you?
Well, look at him. I mean,
Symmetrical. Way too symmetrical.
wow, that's a great call. That girl over there, she wants me.
God, the symmetry is just remarkable. Shit. He really is incredibly perfectly symmetrical. Look at that, E.
It's scary.
It's psychotic looking.
Yeah. Looks like a goat or something.
And then we got a story out of Cleveland with
Jay even looks part Gelfling a little bit.
Little bit Gelfling. You're right, dude. God damn it.
we got a story in Cleveland. I think, and I don't know for sure who was who, but it sounds like Chubbs and E were in Cleveland over the weekend.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. An argument between two men over their sexuality ended with one attacking the other with a 2-foot sword. It happens. It happens. There were 3 men at this apartment watching the Cavs game and playing dominoes, and then one of them, the 48-year-old, who goes by the name Cowboy.
Who plays dominoes anymore?
Who uses a 2-foot sword? If you're going to use a sword, really, 2 feet, it's
That's more
kind
of
of
a
small,
dagger,
isn't it?
More like a dagger?
Yeah, I mean, it's more of a machete.
Yeah.
I mean, that's about 2 feet, right?
Who uses the nickname Cowboy nowadays?
Right.
He accused the 44-year-old friend of his of having homo tendencies. And the 44-year-old fought back, saying he heard from several neighborhood men that Cowboy had homo tendencies. So they're both calling each other out for their homo tendencies. The argument escalates into a fist fight. The 2 men wrestled in the kitchen until the 3rd man broke up the fight. The 2 men decided to take their fight outside.
Wonder what would have happened if the 3rd man wouldn't have jumped in.
They probably would have just got it on
Yeah.
right there on the floor. Both
Just
guys have
wrestled
homo
it.
tendencies.
Yeah.
They would have just wrestled
it
it out.
No, you're a
Wrestle
homo.
it out.
No, you're a homo. No, you're a homo.
You are, and then they would have just, their eyes would have
Yeah.
just locked in a gaze, and then they just would have came in and started making
Dude,
out,
By the way,
spitting on each other's
Is
hands.
that how it works, E?
I don't know. But I don't know if you guys have
Chubs.
friends that did this. I'm not kidding, but I do have some friends.
Had homo tendencies?
No, you'll
Grab a
be at-
sword,
no,
attack you with sword?
Just let me finish this goddamn fucking, like, whatever. But, no, but you'll be at, like, a bonfire, and all of a sudden they'll be, like, legit wrestling, like, grappling with you. Have you ever had friends that...
Yeah, back in the day, but not when I
know.
was 30.66666.
Well, I mean, a lot of the people I hang out with tend to be younger, so they're usually, like, 25. I hang out with younger
Yes,
people.
I certainly
really,
remember that happening.
I think
Yeah.
it's so weird to me that these guys like are so like I was literally at a buddy's house one time and they were like 23 or whatever, but all of a sudden it's Saturday night and these guys are on the floor
We got into
wrestling.
some amazing fucking
Really?
drag-out fights. Yes.
I don't get
wrestling
that, man.
matches?
I just don't
Yeah.
get that, dude.
Yeah, those were fun.
I don't get it.
I generally agree with you. That's kind of
Like I
you're
just
at a
think I'm
party.
gonna be honest. I think it seems it seems more homo to me than if you weren't doing it. Like all of a sudden you're wrestling each
No,
other.
doing it would be way more homo. But
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Do by wrestling. No, well, doing sex. No,
Yeah.
I know. No, I
You
mean
think
it.
doing sex would be more homo than just wrestling?
I'm saying that I don't know. It just
Well,
seems odd to me. All of a sudden, 2 guys are wrestling
Oh, I
on the
agree.
floor, and that's manly because
I agree.
we're wrestling.
Yeah, like all the chicks are standing around. Oh my gosh. let's
Right.
see who
Oh,
wins."
oh,
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Look at that.
Really asserting his dominance. I'm attracted to that.
well, these guys go outside and they waited a few minutes for Cowboy to come out. Cowboy resurfaces with the sword.
With a 2-foot sword. Again, I'm trying to. I mean, I don't know. If I'm going sword, I'm going a longer sword.
Yeah.
Timko, how long's your sword? Didn't you have a sword on your wall? At least
The
3
blade-
feet, right?
The blade's like 4 feet.
Okay,
5 feet.
4-foot
Yeah.
blade. You add another foot for the
Handle.
Yeah.
handle,
Yeah.
shaft, whatever you call it. I mean, I got to be honest. A 2-foot sword is not impressive to me.
No.
Agreed. I think it's more like a machete or a overgrown knife,
A
but
rapier, isn't that what they call them?
a rapier.
Yeah.
I've had
Timko, isn't that a name of a little
Yeah.
like kind of
shorter blade. Yeah.
yeah
I'll bring mine in tomorrow.
kick ass?
I've gone rapier before.
You got the nod. Don't sell yourself short. You
That's
had the
true.
nod.
That's true. So this guy comes out with his dainty sword,
Mhm.
and he begins swinging. He strikes one guy in the head and twice in the left arm before the man said he was going to call the police. Cowboy took one of the men's phones, dropped the sword, and walked away. The other guys called the police, but the police couldn't locate Cowboy.
Wow.
He was off.
Can you imagine
You don't
getting
know-
swatted in the arm by a sword? I mean, dude,
Or in the head? He got hit in the head with a sword.
that's incredible.
Yeah.
Okay, another thing is like how
Over what?
I know that's what I was about to
Being
say.
called a homo.
How? Well, not even a homophobic, homo tendency.
Yeah.
How either one homophobic do you have to be, or 2 how much of a closet homo are you?
Yeah,
That
absolutely. That hit home.
like
That
if
hit a
you
nerve.
and me, we all make jokes all the time, and if you really were like Eric, you're kind of gay, and I was just really ready to
Yeah.
just go to
Like, dude, I hit a nerve there, buddy.
either one, you're like I said, full on homophobic, or 2, you are absolutely a closet homo and you just don't want anyone to know.
Yeah,
about
but
it.
you'd never get the sword swinging before Jay would
No,
leg
leg
sweep
whip.
you.
Oh no,
He just would.
Leg whip, throat,
Dude,
elbow to the throat, dude.
you're right. You're
Not even
probably
try.
are right on that. You're probably are right on
you'd
that.
never get the sword
But a
swing.
gun
right.
bullet, boom.
Yeah, you'd miss, and then you're down on the floor on your back, and
No.
Jay's pounding your face.
You know what? I'm
It's a lose-lose,
take my chances. I got one shot, and I'm gonna take the chance that one shot can do what I want it to do.
Yeah, you're gonna spook yourself before you ever get that shot fired and
don't-
aimed it out.
I don't disagree.
Hey, did you hear that the NFL flexed the Lions-Packers game?
They
Kind-
did.
yeah. Kind of.
4:25. So from 1 to 4.
Oh, okay.
You're trying to think. You're quickly doing the math.
Doing the
Does
math,
that work
yeah.
for us? Does that work for us? Yes, it does.
Yeah, that works for us. So why would they flex it to 4?
I know. I didn't even know
I
you
mean,
could
I thought-
flex it to 4.
I didn't either. I thought it was either flex to 8 o'clock at night
Right.
or not at all.
Although they did do that 2 weeks ago with the game I went to. That was supposed to be a 1 o'clock game, and it became.
But that
4.
was stupid too. That was
Yeah.
the Minnesota
I
game.
totally agree.
Of all games to flex, the Minnesota-Detroit game.
Totally agree. But you're right, and I don't get.
I mean,
I
you,
could-
you can't say anything about it without knowing what is behind it and what you know what I mean. Clearly, they have a
Yeah.
a reason.
Well, that means there's
Does
still
it-
going to be an 8:30 game because this is on Fox still.
Yeah. So what
So-
game are they flexing to 8:30? That
I
doesn't
didn't
say.
You didn't provide me that information.
I just saw a thing that said the Lions game was flexed.
Well, at
I
least
give
it's
him
not the
credit.
8
I give him
o'clock.
credit for looking
Yeah.
that up, though.
See, that's something he cares about.
You know, somebody posted it on Facebook is what happened.
There could be riots breaking
You know
out.
that's what happened, or you?
I guarantee you.
That is what happened.
You son of a bitch!
I'm
God
not-
damn it! What are you doing? Honest to God.
Hey, you know what though? You know how many stories I have found in the middle of a show from watching Facebook?
Don't flip that over to Google when I get out of my seat.
It was there when you looked over. It was there. It was on Facebook when you looked. I always have Facebook and Google open. Google is ready for my perusing if I need it, Jay. I found this. I found the.
What's going on with Tai Chung Gross? What's going on with Chubbs?
Chubbs isn't on Facebook anymore.
Whoa!
Whoa,
No,
he's
I
taking
don't-
a stand.
I don't like it, but he isn't.
Why?
He's a teacher. I think it's
I
probably.
don't like it.
I-
He's a teacher.
He's a teacher. I think he just honestly.
What do you think? What grades does he teach?
Right now he's just technically with a full-time sub. So he's a sub, but he's full-time.
Like
Do you think he would
elementary
bang
or
a student?
middle
or
school?
Middle school.
Do you think he would bang a student?
No.
Why?
He's not
'Cause he's a
like
guy.
me. He's,
Would you?
from the students I hear him talking about, I would have a hard time saying no if it was
Yeah.
propositioned.
Yeah. I think I
I'm
know
not
how
kidding.
you would answer, Jay, but would
of
you?
course, would say no.
No.
Yeah.
What? I'm shocked at that.
Dude, from the descriptions that Chubbs gives me,
What kind of description?
Dude, a middle school student?
No, if you were in high school,
Jay,
I'm not a monster.
He's talking about middle school right now. He's
I know.
talking about banging a middle.
I know, but I'm
30.6.
The classroom I've put you in is high school. Stick to the narrative. If you're in a high school classroom teacher,
In my present situation, I'm married with 3 kids.
No.
Okay, where am I?
Gab,
You're just whatever.
Gab is on the island somewhere. You and Carol didn't work out for whatever reason.
You don't even have kids. You're just whatever.
Yeah, Gab took the kids with her. She ended up on an island. The kids are gone. You and Carol
Let me
just
be
didn't
straight
work
with
out.
the rules here. Now, you can legally bang a 17-year-old in Michigan, right? But not if you're a teacher.
Not if you're a teacher
Right.
because you're an authority.
Forget your law background. You went to school for teaching.
No, I just want to know: am I putting myself in a position where I'm going to prison?
No.
Because that ain't worth
No.
it, man.
Well, don't bang a 16-year-old. Don't
Well,
be silly.
You do that to a 17 or 18-year-old, and you're their teacher, you're going to jail.
Yeah.
Well, that's
So
it's a
no.
game. It's a risk you're willing
No,
to take.
I'm not
It's
actually.
a risk you're willing to take.
No, I'm not going to jail to bang a 17-year-old or 18-year-old.
Dude, she's gorgeous.
I don't care. I'm not
She's
going to jail for it.
gorgeous.
I'll go find another one outside. A non-student.
I don't know what happened in the story. I printed this story earlier about this woman who I think it's Australia, murdered her 8 kids.
Oh yeah, I saw you looking at that, dude.
Yeah. Can you imagine
Having 8 kids.
having 8 kids?
Yeah, that's the most disturbing out of this story to me.
It's-
Is there any situation where you could see killing your kids?
Yeah, what the fuck?
What?
God.
What? Any situation.
No.
Any situation.
let me
They're not
think.
happy
No.
with the gifts you got them at Christmas.
No.
But you have 8. I mean, that's...
That one of them crashes the car.
No.
They took it out. They don't even have a license yet. No?
Like I give a shit about my car.
All right. What if they murdered Gab?
All 3 of them.
All 3 of them together.
the
They
same
teamed
time.
up, and they're not remorseful.
Ooh.
What a scenario! Like,
What?
3 kids.
This is my game.
In fact, they're being cocky about it.
Yeah.
They murdered his wife.
They're doing the dance. Like, what are you gonna do about
Doing
it?
the icky shuffle.
Yeah.
3 kids murdered.
Murdered
his
your
wife.
mom. Murdered our mom.
You're never gonna get me again unless Carol comes into the mix.
Then do I kill him?
Yeah.
Sure.
You do?
Yeah, why not?
Then you go to jail too. Why would you do that?
Jay,
I thought you'd just call the police on him. You're a monster. You'd murder your own kids, Jay.
My God, Jay, what kind of father? Those are your
What we got going on at
It's
this
the dumbest scenario I've ever
That's your
heard.
seed,
Well,
Jay.
we'll just see how this plays out. We'll see what you would do.
We'll see what happens. That's your seed, Jay. You'd murder them.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Your seed.
He just said it on the podcast that he might kill his kids under
Oh
some
my
under some
God.
scenarios.
But if that happens, you can call me and you can let me know what happened, dude. I'll be there for you. I will not call the police.
You won't rat me out?
Nope.
You're a
Nope.
friend, Mike.
I am. I won't fold under questioning either.
There's a scenario that Jay would kill his kids.
Here she is.
No, I just wanted to end the conversation.
I know.
You dick.
So a judge on Monday rejected a plea by lawyers for this woman charged with killing 8 children.
It's not Octomom, is it?
No, it's Insane Warrior, charged under her full name, is facing 8 counts of murder in the deaths of 7 of her children and her niece, whose bodies were found inside her Northern Australia home last week. Police were called to the home after receiving a report of a woman with serious injuries. When they got to the house, they found the bodies along with this warrior who was suffering from stab wounds to the chest. So why does she have stab wounds to the chest?
Stabbed herself?
Self-defense?
God.
Did the 2-year-old take at her?
Yeah, what were the ages? What was the age span here? The range?
2 to 14.
Wow.
Wow, what a psycho.
God, why would you have that
Allegedly.
many kids?
Yeah, the family is deeply upset.
That's E's big question. Not why would you kill him? Why would you have so many kids? Which is a really good
Well,
question.
think about it. You got 2 to 14. So one of yours is 14 years
Dude.
old. 2 years, 4 years, she's out. She's in college, whatever. But then you would have 12 more years.
No, she's not in college.
Well, yeah.
This chick's an absolute load.
Well, okay, but she's out. You can kick her legally out of the house.
Just ridiculous.
Oh,
I watched part of Idiocracy today.
isn't that great?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's just, dude,
God, Dak
it
Shepard
really
cracks me up.
Yeah,
in
it
that movie.
really does. And I know a lot of people have emailed in and kind of likened E to
Whatever.
Yeah.
the
Oh, yeah.
star
No,
to
no, no.
bed.
No, he's the star of the movie.
It really is. Yeah.
No.
Star of the movie. You could have starred in that movie. You could have played every character almost.
No.
No, it's like a foreshadowing.
What was the movie that was number 1 in the theaters? Was it Ass?
But, yeah, ass, yeah. And they sat there for 90 minutes just staring at ass. No, it was butt fuckers, though, instead of fuddruckers, yeah.
Oh, that's right.
That is pretty funny.
You got to admit, you could. No.
I don't believe that, but whatever.
All right.
I guess I do know many people have suggested it, though. I know that, so whatever. Oh.
Hey, any businesses or groups out there in need of huge savings on computers or electronic equipment? If that's you, contact nationwidesurplus.com. They sell everything computer related and can offer great deals on bulk purchases of hardware and software. We're talking everything from laptops, servers, scanners, projectors, and more. They have it all, and they also buy decommissioned equipment. So check them out at nationwidesurplus.com, and if you shop now and use the promo code PINKHAT, you get an additional 10% off. That's huge savings, so don't wait. Check them out, nationwidesurplus.com.
Also, December is the best month of year to buy or lease your new Zott Ford. This time of year, they need your trade, so they're paying top dollar for your trade. Hurry in before all the holiday cash is gone. You can go check them out, Ford Road in Holly. It's zottford.com, SZOTT. Do we have any good email?
We have some. We do indeed. Frank writes in.
Oh, by the way, Zott bought a bunch of Christmas T-shirts, and so if you are buying a car and get a good deal on it, they'll give you the Detroit Cast Starter Pack, which is a autographed T-shirt and a hat and a sticker.
That's cool.
So yeah,
Starter pack.
Yep.
Frank writes in. So Sunday I was in a play at church. I was the narrator. So this is 'tis the season of the Christmas pageant, right? So Frank's the narrator of the Christmas pageant. As I read one of my lines, I hearkened back to E's diary. One of my lines went like this: I woke up early, took a shower, and ate breakfast.
No way.
During rehearsals. See, the shower thing, though, is what separates
Yeah,
this
yeah.
pageant from your life.
It's really not believable anymore.
No. But it did remind him of you. So during rehearsals, I laughed every time. He says it took me a long time to stop. I finally got it out during the actual play, but deep inside, I was laughing my ass off. Big E spills over into our lives. It's crazy how much the show impacts our daily lives. Love the show. Hashtag keep that shit up. P.S. Big E, eat a shit stalk.
Wow, that's not very Christian of you to run
By the way,
play.
I believe that E does dominate our lives in a lot of ways. Wasn't there some discrepancy about what to name your cats at one point?
Oh yeah. No, I demanded that I be able to name these cats. I mean, I'm like given the final okay for these things.
You get the big piece of chicken at dinner.
Right.
And you get to name
Wow,
the
was
cats.
it 1950 over at your house, Jay?
No,
I sit at the head of the table and
that was
be
the one
respected.
thing I wanted, man. If these cats are coming in, they're not gonna have shitbag names like Miss
Olaf
Molly
Flowers or something.
Right, Olaf was definitely would have been in the running. But Sweet Pie throws out, I want to name one Big E. Yeah. Eric.
Oh, you should have done it.
No way in hell I'm naming one of my cats Big E.
Oh.
Dude, I'm around you way too much as it is.
Could you imagine running around like,
Jay!
Biggie, Biggie, come here, get out of there, Biggie.
Jay! Around me too much. I told you I missed
Stop
you.
licking Moose's ass, Big E.
Oh.
Shit in your box, E.
Yeah.
Shit in your box, Biggie.
See, you could have taken all your frustrations out with me as a cat.
Dude, no, that was not. I was like, no.
Why? Your daughter wanted to name him Biggie? I don't know if it's a compliment towards me, by the way, or not. Honestly,
I think it is.
I think it's just because you guys are both on the 6-year-old level that she sees a lot of her associates in you. Like she really is she's like, yeah, I'm friends with guys like Biggie.
Yeah.
Like when we were drawing over.
Yeah,
here.
she came down and drew on the whiteboard with you.
Yeah, and her drawings look better than yours, but whatever.
I know, I did. I I told her that we're both going to draw cats and ask Jay who he thought drew which.
She did pretty good compared to you.
She's an artiste.
Let's see. Tim writes in, hey boys, it's 1 p.m. on Saturday, and I just received a package in the mail. It's my decast hoodie. Hoodie hoo!
Nice.
I want to let our fearless cult leader know that I will wear this shirt with pride, and I will not live my life to the fullest.
Very good.
Because
Good
once your life is fully lived, there will be nothing else to live for.
That's a great point.
That's deep, man.
It's very good.
Well
I like
done,
that.
Tim.
Confucius.
Although who's going to see that? Although if he's not living his life to the fullest, no one's going to see the shirt. He's just going to be in the house. It's not going to spread anywhere.
Yeah, right. At least get out of the house, Tim.
Don't live it to the fullest, but.
I didn't even realize that Butthead is wearing E's glasses.
Oh yeah, dude.
How did I miss that?
I know. I missed the cum stains on the couch. You pointed those out to me.
Yeah.
but-
They're crooked too. You're
Yeah.
right, because they're actually crooked even.
That is hilarious.
Once again, glass half full, dare I say, Merry Christmas to all, and I can't hardly wait for the beautifully produced best of shows soon to come. Right, Big E?
E, are you getting nervous?
I think there's going to be some extra scrutiny this time.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see.
E, you're making a list, and we're checking it twice.
I know. Trust me. Don't think it isn't on my mind.
All right.
Aaron writes in, hey, fuckers, I love the show.
Oh,
but
you know what? Oh, sorry, real fast. Since you brought up this mess ups, I will say this. It's funny because I was listening to some stuff, obviously, and listening to a story that we did before we started saying scenario. And I'm listening to our show, and we said scenario, and I was like, scenario. like we didn't start saying scenario yet.
It got to the point where it wasn't worth the fight, because I think I said scenario.
Yeah.
It's hard to even say the word now. I hear other
Scenario.
people say it, it's weird. But Jay kept correcting me.
Mhm.
And it was like,
Sorry.
okay, I either change because he's not going to stop. He's going to be relentless in his pursuit of scenario. So it's just easier to play ball.
that's no
Let-
game, dude. That's how I say it. I don't know how I got onto that, but that's just how I say the words.
It's very
Scenario.
high.
Yeah, but
Highbrow.
it's not just how you say it, but you started every time we said it, you correct us.
I thought you guys were saying it wrong. I've never noticed. I thought it was scenario.
But it was just, I don't know, it was just really funny to me because I was listening to you guys and I just, scenario.
Scenario.
Aaron writes in, hey, fuckers, love the show, but Mike takes the singing too far.
Oh.
Yeah, just join a band already, jeez.
I swear I'll fast forward 1 minute each time I hear it, so don't put any content like ads you want me to hear near your singing.
Who wrote that? What asshole wrote that?
Aaron. Yeah.
It's a lady. Well, maybe, actually.
I think it's
Aaron could be a
I
guy.
think it's a dude. It's weird,
probably a gay
weird
dude.
spelling.
It's probably a gay guy.
Look at the spelling of that. I've never seen that.
No,
Yeah,
a
it's
gay
the
guy would
it's the
probably
gay
be-
way to spell it.
Dude,
I'm used
a
to
gay
the
guy would be
AA
down
round.
with you singing, though. Probably.
Not this one.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
boy.
No, I'm not in the mood to sing right now. For Aaron's sake. Forget it. I'm done. I'm never singing again.
Oh,
Never
thanks,
again.
Aaron.
Guess Aaron runs the show.
Yep, gay Aaron. Whatever. Garen.
Hey,
I'll call him
chime
Garen.
in with anything else you'd like, Aaron. We'll get it done.
Yeah,
Make
chime
sure
in
we-
about scenario, please.
Anything else you'd like us to change or?
People you'd like us to eliminate.
I can't help that. I guess if you decide to do, I was gonna say because if Garen were to email in on anything she doesn't like that he or she doesn't like that anything I do, I'm not gonna cave so easily as Walters.
I think it's a duty.
I stick to my
think it's-
principles, unlike Walters apparently.
Well, whatever. Garen doesn't want me to sing, then fine, I won't sing today.
We still need the giraffe versus tiger.
Yeah,
thing.
we'll wait
So
for our next
you've never
direction
solved
from
that
Garen.
Yeah.
All right, Garen, whatever.
Please direct us in that regard.
Let us know how this show's going to progress.
We're not exactly sure where
Gayron,
it's
can
going.
you please email me and let me know if this is gonna be my job soon?
He's not a soothsayer. He's just a...
He doesn't read the future.
Yeah.
You're giving Gayron too much credit, by
just
the way.
has opinions.
By the way, I heard I didn't get to come back. You make your little snide remark when Walters was talking about religion.
Snide remark?
Walters was
What did
talking
he
about racist co-hosts or racist podcasts or racist lawyers. You had to be like racist car reporters. Like throw that in there, dude. I don't identify myself as a
truth
car
hurts.
reporter, dude.
Truth
Son
hurts.
of a bitch.
Oh, okay. Isn't that what you do?
So you could have fallen
your
under
job?
the...
I do.
That's your job, right?
It's a side project
A side project.
that pays me
The
money.
one that gets paid, the one that pays you.
This is my job, Jay.
Okay.
Well, if people, if the overwhelming response is that people would wish that I would never sing again, well, just email us and let us know. And if it's an overwhelming response like Gayron thinks, then I'll never sing again. How about that?
Ever?
Ever?
Like,
no.
we can't
I'm done.
silence. No, that's oh my gosh.
I'm
that's
humiliated
It's like
right
telling
now,
you
Jay.
you can't sketch a baby Reagan.
I'm humiliated right now. Nobody,
With
well, no one,
Picasso.
obviously nobody's called into question my art skills,
Dude,
my
we
drawing
can't suppress
skills.
your art, okay?
Well, apparently
and your
Gayron
singing
can.
is part of your art.
Well,
you can't. No,
I don't know.
you'll burst, Mike.
I'll let the people decide this, but if so far Gayron's leading the poll. Are there any other emails?
Oh my God.
Let's save him.
Really?
Let's
That's
move
it?
forward.
That's it?
Yeah.
One more. Come on, give us one more.
Fuck.
Oh, he's been put on the spot.
All right.
Better not be from Gayron.
PA Van. PA Van writes in. For the last 2 years, I've been splitting my time between Detroit and Madrid. But listening religiously to the podcast, finally got a chance to catch Big E
Oh,
live
I was gonna say I've
last
seen
time.
this guy.
Yeah, he's the one who caught you live in what was it, Novi?
Yeah.
Yeah, he says observations. The pink hat works.
Agreed.
My man was very uncomfortable being praised for the podcast. He does not
I
want to
believe that.
mention the podcast.
What do you mean?
He does not want to mention it. I was showing the other comics the podcast on my phone and saying there are 240 episodes and they can listen to for this guy, and he wanted no part of this. Like he was like, he's all embarrassed and shit.
Yeah.
PA Van bought him 3 beers and then gave him $20 and bought his comic friend a drink.
I know.
Big fan of this guy. And unfortunately found myself in the restroom next to him. He was talking and swinging while doing his business. I thought, my God, is he going to spray me? Close. I got lucky. No incident.
Wow.
You're lucky.
He did get lucky because remember what happened at Ed's house.
Yeah.
Sprayed
Squeezed all
it
over the
everywhere.
floor and then proceeded to tell everyone, including the host.
Yeah. Fuck. That
That was
he
a
cleaned
cool
it up
dude,
with a
dude.
hand towel.
Who was
Son
a
of
cool dude, Ed or
Well, that's
PA
cool
Von?
too.
PA Von says, my man killed the stand-up when he was looking at the crowd.
Ooh.
Not so much when he spent half the stand-up looking at the wall
Yeah.
while delivering punchlines.
That's kind of his move.
Yeah.
That's Big E's thing.
Yeah.
To stare at the wall or
I like
the
doing
door.
it. Fuck it.
He says, my man gave me his credit card to input into his phone to register for what?
Oh, for my Lyft. I was trying to sign up for Lyft because my buddies were. I wanted to hang out with my buddies in Ann Arbor, but they didn't want to wait to be done with the comedy thing. So I took a Lyft from Ann Arbor
What
to
the
Detroit.
hell are you talking about?
Lyft is like Uber.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
And
Did you get raped?
no? But
Anyone hit you with a
the
hammer?
thing was, it's funny that he's like no. But the thing was, he's describing is I think it was like I was either too buzzed or I was just couldn't see with the situation. But he had my credit card. He could have written it down.
No, he said it took all the ethics in me to not steal his notebook. Had a bunch of Big E scribbles in it, gold, I tell you. So
Yeah.
you let him peruse your notebook?
Yeah, people if they come out, people do ask me to see kind of whatever, but they can't read any of it, so it doesn't.
Yeah.
It'd be useless, pretty much.
Yeah, it is weird to see your writings. I mean, we've
It's-
focused much time on it.
Well, especially on those, if you really those notebooks specifically, that when I'm writing ideas for jokes or writing jokes, they're very much unintelligible.
I think that was
legible.
No, I think it's just right the way you left it. Enjoy.
Shut the fuck up. Okay, I know I messed up, you
Settle
asshole.
down. Settle down.
No, it
Settle
was
down.
perfect. You didn't mess up. It was perfect. Enjoyed meeting him. Nice guy. Cares for and respects you guys, Mike. And really?
Nah, you know, that's P-Avon. That's
Hey,
where you.
P-Avon,
No,
settle down.
no, this is what he
Whoa,
said.
whoa.
This is what
It's
he
kind
said.
of unraveling here.
He said Mike, J, Paren, maybe, and Timco. Hope to catch you guys at the next show. PA Van out.
Nice.
He really was, but it's funny. Like when he gave
Nice
that
guy.
$20, I really was. No, dude. I mean, it's cool. You already bought some beers and all. You know, it's like, and he just threw it at me. I was like, what do I
He
do?
insisted.
He insisted. And then he did have my credit card information. He could have taken my credit card if he wanted to. Oh, there's not much on it. It's almost max.
Your mom doesn't have anything on that credit card?
Dude, you know she's got that thing governed at like $400, you know?
$40.
No,
Yeah.
dude, well, I have technically my own credit cards. It's just they're not,
Like,
they're
you know,
almost maxed out. They're like on minimum payments. I'm just whatever. So.
All right. Well, why don't we call it a day there for a Monday? Short week this week, too.
Yeah.
Two more
yeah.
shows, and then it'll be Christmas Eve.
And a couple of best ofs. Ready?
Are you ready? Do you have any of them done yet?
I worked a long time today.
Did you got the nudist in there? Or the flautist?
No, I don't. I will tell you the ones
A couple
I.
double Ds, I think we
Nope, they're
talked about.
all.
that.
They're going to be
Yeah.
all brand new.
Misty
Never,
watercolored memory?
No,
Yeah.
no. There is not going to be one replayed topic.
Didn't we call a brother-in-law once?
Yeah, maybe. We could call him down in Berkeley, California. I
Yeah,
think it
something
was.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
I hope they're E heavy like the last one.
That's bullshit. Bullshit.
Look at him go, look at him go.
Literally, I went through because I made an archive of all the bits I've done since July. We had one on Labor Day, and I went through, and I don't care. I know you guys were maybe half kidding just to get me riled up, maybe not, but I looked.
No, not at all.
Well, you were lying. Then you're wrong. Then you're fucking wrong because I looked at the exact goddamn bits that played. Yes, I repeated some shit. Obviously,
Right.
But they were not E heavy.
Well, just because your Big E is not in the title of it doesn't mean it's not
Well, I
E-heavy.
can't help it if you fucking bring up a topic and I don't know.
Yes, you can help it. You're the one producing the best of, so
There's
you can absolutely help
There is
it.
very few times when we bring up a topic where I never comment on something.
Well, you're going to need to find those bits where you absolutely
we're
don't
gonna
say a
play
word.
hard news stories for that.
You know what I liked? Two listeners had good advice for best ofs. One was, dude, look at your holiday shirt and see the sayings and then find the genesis of that saying.
You know how
Find where that.
those things are like 2 minutes and things that happened fucking 4 months ago.
Hey, if you'd be keeping good show notes, like Timco over there, maybe he'd let you borrow them if you're nice to him. Then the second one was a guy, or maybe Mike suggested this. We do an email best of, because we get some damn good email.
Whole episode though, really? Would people
No, not
really want an hour?
necessarily. But
Yeah.
several of the good ones.
That's not a horrible idea.
It'll take a little work though, E.
I don't
And
know.
it's in a couple days. So
Before you actually produce anything.
I know.
And I'm using produce under the absolute
I
loosest
got
of
you. You'll
terms.
get it.
loosest of
You'll
terms.
see him tomorrow.
Bring us a list
You'll see
with the
them-
timestamps on them so we know how long the said bits are, and we can
Okay.
just kind of go through it and we can get an idea for where you're going, and we can scratch off certain E-bits, and we can just kind of figure out where your head is, because it'd be nice to catch your mistakes before you make them for the public.
You'll see him tomorrow.
All right, we'll see. Both shows or just one?
Both.
Ooh,
Big E.
now you got to come through.
All right.
All right.
Look at him. He's so determined.
Maybe we'll go through it on the air with everybody and
Oh.
get their input on it. E, ready for that?
I would do it without ruin the allure.
Ruin the allure.
We'll give them a taste, maybe.
Okay,
Love it,
Just
man.
give them a taste. We'll see if you're on the right track.
Okay.
All right. And with that, we'll call it a day for a Monday edition of the Detroit Cast. But we'll be back tomorrow for an all new live edition of the Detroit Cast.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit.
Listen to God, watch you grow.